Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to debate about CJ Stroud's draft stock. I will give my thoughts on CJ Stroud, as I will make player comparisons for him. I will even give out my predictions on where CJ Stroud will be drafted to. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So, here it is. What are your thoughts on CJ Stroud? Which NFL QB has similarities to CJ Stroud? So when you look at the CJ Stroud guy, this guy's got it all. He can throw the ball deep, he can throw the ball very accurately, he's got a very high football IQ. I know that there's been some character assassination of CJ Stroud lately. I'm going to go ahead and blow that off because of the fact that we did not hear anything about his character prior to a couple of days ago about CJ Stroud. Because for the most part, CJ Stroud is a good guy. He hasn't committed any crimes, he hasn't committed any assault, he hasn't done anything too stupid. The worst thing you could say about him is that he goes to the Manning Passing Academy, and although I do love the Mannings, I think that they are great at what they do. Let's be honest, they are being very nitpicky that a college kid decided to ghost an academy, because a lot of college kids, they do stupid stuff. I'm a college kid. Not everybody's going to do everything so smoothly. When you're 20, when you're 21 years old, do you have life figured out? Heck no, you don't. And that's exactly what's going on with CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is still a young man trying to find his way through life. Okay, when you look at CJ Stroud, he is still a really good quarterback. If you had to ask me about what I thought about CJ Stroud's abilities compared to his other peers, I would say that he's the best quarterback in this draft class. Now, do the Carolina Panthers agree with me about CJ Stroud? I'm not so sure they agree with me about that. I hope they agree. I'm hearing that they might agree, but I can't confirm that they agree with my takes on CJ Stroud. What I do know about CJ Stroud is that he's a really accurate passer, and he knows how to play under pressure. He knows how to step into throws and just rip that ball out of it. Does he have a Josh Allen type of cannon? No, but he's got enough of an arm to the point where he can make throws all over the field. You're not going to have to worry about limiting certain pass plays because he lacks arm strength. When you look at CJ Stroud, I think his ceiling is Joe Burrow. Why do I say that? Because he doesn't hesitate to attack with his throws. He's decisive. Even when he makes the wrong decision, he's decisive. And that's exactly what you want out of a quarterback. You want your quarterback to be decisive with your throws. If you're going to make the wrong read, be decisive. It's almost better, if not flat out better, to be decisive with your throws than be indecisive and make the correct read. As long as you're decisive, usually things are going to work out. That's what I've learned from my experience of working with quarterbacks. So that's just one thing that I want to point out about CJ Stroud. I also want to point out that CJ Stroud's best game in his career came in the college football playoff semifinal. That was against Georgia. That made me think of Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow showed up in the college football playoff national championship game against Clemson. And even though Joe Burrow won his game against Clemson and CJ Stroud didn't, CJ Stroud definitely deserved to beat Georgia, which, by the way, it seems unbelievable to even think about because Georgia just dominated TCU in the national championship game. But the fact that CJ Stroud took them to a game-winning drive, and where it took a kicker missing a 50-yard field goal in order for them to lose to Georgia, that's actually really impressive to me. That showed me that CJ Stroud could be really good when he gets to the NFL. I've also seen CJ Stroud be willing to extend and make plays outside the pocket as well. And I know some people might be saying, CJ Stroud, he's like Mac Jones, he can't move around. And I think that's entirely overblown. These people that keep talking about CJ Stroud, they make it sound like he's running at Phillip Rivers type speed. They make it sound like he's running at Tom Brady like speed, like Drew Brees speed. But the reality of the matter is, CJ Stroud is a far better runner than those guys. I mean, look, is CJ Stroud going to win a lot of 40-yard dashes? No, he's not going to win a lot of them, but he's got good game speed. If you need him to pick up a first down by running, he's going to be able to certainly do it. And when he's scrambling, which he can certainly do, he's scrambling to pass, not to run. He's not an athletic freak like Anthony Richardson, but he doesn't need to be with his football IQ. He's got a very high football IQ. I've been very impressed with that. That makes me think of Joe Burrow as well. Now, he finds his way back to platform throws when forced to move his feet. His mechanics don't change when he's on the run. His mechanics are always the same, so I've been impressed with that as well. He knows how to put the ball on the frame. He knows how to let the receivers catch the ball in stride, and he knows how to put the receivers in positions to get yards after catch, that is, and keep it rolling. He knows how to make the big plays as well, just off of that. And that's actually very important for an NFL quarterback to have. An NFL quarterback, he needs to know how to put the ball in play, and he needs to know how to put the receivers in great position to get yards after catch, because it's very hard to gain yards at the NFL level. So you need that skill if you're a quarterback. And he knows how to use his weapons effectively, and he knows how to play within himself. He's not going to do anything too crazy. So that's why my projected ceiling for CJ Stroud in terms of play style is Joe Burrow. Now let's talk about his floor. His floor to me is Kirk Cousins. Why do I say Kirk Cousins? Well, CJ Stroud, he does have a hesitance to use his legs, And when you don't use legs in today's NFL, that might limit your success. So you think about Kirk Cousins, he's a decent pocket passer, but he doesn't really run a lot. That really limits him, physically speaking. That's why he's not a better quarterback in the National Football League. Now, CJ Stroud, he kind of struggles to get squared to target when rolling out. He's not going to be like Aaron Rodgers, where he can just throw the ball effortlessly down the field. CJ Stroud, he also needs a clearer scan for potential pressure points near the line of scrimmage. He's going to struggle if a team has a strong defensive tackle. He's going to struggle against it. He has shown signs of that. And same thing with Kirk Cousins as well. So that might be a concern for CJ Stroud. Now, CJ Stroud, he might need to play with better recognition and respect for safeties. Sometimes he'd be throwing passes out there, and it's like, dude, why are you throwing it there? Safety's right there. But that's just CJ Stroud being a gunslinger. He's got inconsistent activating lower body torque on drive throws. He doesn't necessarily use great hips in terms of throwing the ball. That's what I also think about with Kirk Cousins as well. Now, CJ Stroud, he has a tendency to let his interceptions arise when he refuses to come off primary receiver. He can sometimes stare down a receiver. And another concern that I have for CJ Stroud is that he did not win big games at Michigan. You know how that reminds me of Kirk Cousins? Because Kirk Cousins doesn't win big games in the NFL either. Anytime it's a playoff game or anytime it's a Thursday night game, a Sunday night game, a Monday night game, you could definitely count on Kirk Cousins to fold. And the fact that CJ Stroud never beat Michigan, that has to raise some alarm bells out there, because a lot of Ohio State quarterbacks, they knew how to beat Michigan, but CJ Stroud never did that. And CJ Stroud also doesn't strike us the prototypical leader that you would expect out of a quarterback. I'm not saying he's a bad leader, but he's not going to be one of those rah guys. Hey, look at me, do what you got to do to get the job done. He's not going to do that. He's just a quiet guy. So maybe that could be a concern for him. So that is why my projected floor for CJ Stroud in terms of play style is Kirk Cousins. Ultimately, though, what is his most realistic player comparison? I'm going to go ahead and select Matt Ryan for that. Why? Because he's got the arm strength to air out the deep ball towards the sideline with accuracy. Now, the tape shows the ability to get through progressions, and he's got enough arm talent to pump, reset, and then release. That reminds me a lot of Matt Ryan in Atlanta, where he was successful under the Kyle Shanahan scheme. Now, the most naturally accurate top-tier quarterback in the 2023 draft class is CJ Stroud. He's very good at that. There's no denying that. He's also showed maturity as a game manager at times, so he knows how to play with it himself. He did that last year very well. He's shown good durability. He's not going to be a guy that's going to miss a lot of games due to injury, but he does struggle with pressure in his face. And that reminds me of Matt Ryan too, because Matt Ryan, even though he was a very good quarterback for the Falcons, he did struggle against my Carolina Panthers whenever there was pressure in his face. So that could be a concern for CJ Stroud. And his play style is a little old school. It might not translate to modern day success of the quarterback position. Modern day quarterback position, they typically rely on quarterbacks to be athletes. CJ Stroud's not an athlete. He is a quarterback first. So that might affect him in the short term. Overall, though, I think he's going to have a really good career, and he's going to make multiple Pro Bowls, and he might even win an MVP if he plays in the right scheme. He's got the potential to be a #1 overall pick. That's how good CJ Stroud is. So that's why my most realistic player comparison for CJ Stroud in terms of play style is Matt Ryan. These player comparisons for these draft prospects are all based on my own player evaluations when I am looking at their play style. Ultimately, though, his draft projection is going to be the #1 overall pick. I got the Carolina Panthers taking him. That's how good I think CJ Stroud is. CJ Stroud has the capability to be a #1 overall pick and have a ton of success in the National Football League. He is my quarterback one in this draft class. So that is why my player comparisons for CJ Stroud are Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, and Matt Ryan. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @DustinTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinTran and Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.